Hi, I'm Isabella, as many of you may know, and this is going to be my happiness project. And the title is The Essential Pieces to Happiness. And this happens to be the title of my project because my theme of my project is going to be fashion. And many people may be asking, like, what does fashion have to do with happiness? And they actually have one big thing in common. So, in fashion, when you're putting together an outfit, there's essential pieces needed in order to do that. So, for example, you need a nice top, a nice bottom, a purse, shoes, some jewelry to accessorize it, and a pair of nice sunglasses never hurts. And in happiness, you would need essential pieces to become happier. So these would include strategies, implementing these strategies, reinforcements, consequences, and accountability. So, my take on happiness throughout this course, 50% of our happiness actually comes from a genetic set point. So, this is something we're born with, we can't control, and is our genetic makeup. 40% of our happiness is within our power to change and is what this course is based on. And then 10% of our happiness is left up to our circumstances, our income, and where we live. And in our society today, we tend to look for happiness in the wrong places, but it is not the individual's fault because society puts this burden on us, puts it in our head that the pleasant life is the best way to go. And what I mean by this, for example, is all of our advertisements are geared towards being happy. You have to live luxuriously. You have to travel to these exotic places. You have to look a certain type of way. You have to eat a certain type of food, and that will make you happy. But we've learned in this class that that contributes to the pleasant life, and the pleasant life alone is unable to make you happy or happiest. It leads to short term happiness, which is happiness that lasts in the moment and gives and satisfies you in that specific moment. But in this project and overall reading these books and taking this class, we're looking for long-term happiness, something that will be satisfied down the road and years ahead. And for this project, for these strategies, I'm actually coming up with 5 strategies to make my life happier. And they include an affirmation a day keeps the negative thoughts away, out of sight, out of mind, less is more, spending time with loved ones, and your body is a temple. So, my first strategy is actually my favorite, and it's going to be an affirmation a day keeps the negative thoughts away. And for this strategy, each morning I'll be picking out one affirmation out of my glass jar. It's going to be my positive affirmation jar. And I would start each morning by picking a little slip of paper, which is the affirmation out of it. It's actually this jar right here. I actually bought it. It's filled with Q-tips right now, but I'm actually going to take them out before July 1st, our start date, and fill it up with little slips of paper with these affirmations that I'm going to look up online. And then some of them I've thought of or thought that I need to hear them. So I'm going to put some of my own in there too. And after I pick this affirmation, I'm actually going to keep it in my wallet throughout the day to serve as a little pick me up if I'm having a bad attitude about something or a negative thought. I just want it there near me so I can always read it and it'll just ground me and put me in a good headspace to continue going throughout my day. And research has actually shown that optimists are more likely to persevere and engage fully, even in the face of difficulty. So this just shows that if I'm facing adversity or a difficult situation, that I'll be able to step up where others might back down. And this affirmation is just a little helping aid in that. My next strategy is actually going to be one of my harder ones, out of sight, out of mind. And for this strategy, I'll be journaling every Sunday for 15 minutes. And I chose Sundays because it's the day I get off of work and can actually put in the time to make this a good journal. And I'll actually be journaling my negative thoughts for the week or some built up trauma that I want to get out in the open on a piece of paper. And I'm actually going to be putting my own spin on this strategy. So I'm going to be ripping up the journal entry, crumbling it, and throwing it away. And this represents anything like getting rid of anything that holds me back or a burden that's heavy on me and just letting go of all of this. And the throwing away is just putting it in a different place, not in my mind. And people who journal their deepest thoughts and feelings about trauma or ordeals in their life make fewer visits to the doctor and have actually been linked to less depression or bettering their depression while journaling. My next strategy is going to be less is more, which is a strategy that's very essential in my life right now, as I currently work in retail. So I buy and buy and buy a lot of clothes that happens to be on sale with amazing prices, which is called bargain clutter, which Gretchen Rubin briefly mentions in her book. And she says it's something she does not suffer from when she mentions it, but I do suffer from it. And it's when you buy things solely for the fact they're on sale and have a good price, which is what I do. And to combat this, I will be organizing my closet every Wednesday. And I'm choosing Wednesday because it's a day I have off of work. And I know this task is going to take a lot of time. So this will make sure I have the time to do it and don't back out or make an excuse not to. And every month, I'll be taking a trip to Goodwill to give some of my clothes away. And each time that I'm going to take this trip, I'm going to bring 2 black garbage bags, like Gretchen Rubin mentioned in her book, to put all my clothes in. So they're in one place, the clothes I want to give away. And this way I can just take them to Goodwill in a bag and it'll be easier and I'll be more likely to do this. And clearing clutter is actually linked to boosts in happiness. And happiness happens to be linked in decreased chances of heart disease and some types of cancers, which is very beneficial in any aspect of my life. So it's definitely something I want to implement in my life. My next strategy is going to be spending time with loved ones. So each month I'm going to pick 3 people who I value in my life and invite them to lunch. This way I'm keeping in touch with them and making sure that I value my social connections, which is something I do value, but don't always take the time to do. And this can be a close friend, family member, someone I feel needs a friend or a little pick me up, or someone I just want to reconnect with and haven't spoken to in a long time. And it actually shows that people with strong social support are healthier and live longer. So, this is a very positive benefit that I feel like anyone would want to implement in their life. And this can be achieved by something so simple as social interaction and just being social. My next strategy is one that I feel like is very underrated. It's called Your Body is a Temple, and it's a loving kindness meditation. And I'm going to be doing this meditation every morning right before breakfast. So I start my day in the right headspace. And for this meditation, there are going to be 4 rounds. So you're going to be doing this meditation for a person you love, someone you do not know or have had a brief interaction with, and someone you are not very fond of, and then yourself, which a lot of people tend to forget themselves, which I find is a very big deal. For each of these people, including yourself, you say, may blank be happy, may blank be without physical and psychological pain, may blank be at peace. So for example, may I be happy, may I be without physical and psychological pain, may I be at peace. And consistent meditation has shown to produce greater happiness and less depression in the individuals who practice it. So it's very beneficial and has not really shown any negatives. Here is the hardest part of the project, which Gretchen Rubin stated at the end of her book, that the hardest part of the entire project was following through with these strategies. Writing them down and saying you're going to do them was the easy part. But she said her little resolutions chart was very hard to keep up with, and she had to make sure she took time to do it. So this is why this is a part of the project that I've taken a step to start already. I actually bought my planner already, and it's very visually appealing. So this will entice me to grab it and make sure I use it to better my project and stay accountable. So I'll be using this planner to keep track of hitting my target goal for each of my strategies every week. As you can see, I've already started in it and I outlined the strategies for July. So every day I have my positive affirmation there. And then every day I actually have the love and kindness meditation. And then every Wednesday I have organized my closet, as you can see in the Wednesday column. And then every Sunday I have journal for 15 minutes, as you can see in the Sunday column. And in the notes section is where I'll be implementing the smiley face and sad face stickers. And this will be allowing me to visually see if I've accomplished it or not by the colors and the little stickers. So this will help me because I'm a visual learner. So this definitely helps me and will make me want to do it even more. And in the notes is where I'll be sticking them. And here, along with accountability, is actually the reinforcers and consequences that I mentioned briefly at the beginning of the presentation. So for each strategy, I'm going to have a reinforcer and a consequence. So for my positive affirmation strategy, which is picking the little slip of paper out of a jar, my reinforcer, if I hit my target goal of picking an affirmation out of my positive affirmation jar 5 out of 7 days of the week, I get to go to Starbucks and order my favorite drink, which is a strawberry acai with lemonade, which is a drink that I love. So this will ensure that I stay on top of this strategy and implement it in my daily life. My consequence would be I have to watch a 10 to 15-minute video in a topic that I need to learn more about, not necessarily am interested in, but need to learn more about. So this will be a burden as it'll take time out of my already busy day, but it'll make me happier because I'll be learning about something at the end of the day. And then my next strategy is going to be my coping strategy, which is my 15-minute journal every week. If I journal every Sunday for 15 minutes, I get to buy an article of clothing I've been wanting on the last day of the month. And this is one of my harder strategies. So this reinforcer will make sure that I'm doing it because I love clothes. And my consequence, if I do not journal every Sunday, I have to donate $5 to an organization very near and dear to my heart called Women in Distress. My next reinforcer for my love and kindness meditation, if I complete 5 out of 7 of my love and kindness meditations a week, I get to watch a documentary of my choice. And for some, this may be a consequence, but not for me because I love learning about the things I'm interested in as much as I can. My consequence, if I do not complete this goal, is I have to choose an organization and volunteer for them. For my reducing clutter strategy, which is cleaning out my closet, if I clean my closet once a week, I get to go see the sunset at the beach, which is something I very much enjoy and will look forward to doing. So this will entice me to want to clean my closet every week. And the consequence is I have to go grocery shopping for my mother. And this is definitely a heavy consequence because she has very long grocery lists. And I will end up spending at least an hour each time I go grocery shopping for her. And my social connection strategy, which is going out to eat with friends 3 times a month, will be my reinforcer will be I get to go take a trip and see my best friend who I never get tired of. So this is, and I don't see enough either. So this is a very good reinforcer to ensure that I'm on top of staying connected with my friends. My consequence is I have to do my family's laundry for a week, which is 3 to 4 loads a week. So a very hefty consequence as well. And my overall thoughts and my happiness assessment that I'm going to have to do 3 times a year. So I'm going to choose the pre 6 months point and post structure for my assessments. And so 3 times a year, I'm going to be taking an assessment, which will assess where I am in my happiness project. And I will take one before my project, which is the pre portion of it. I will be taking an assessment at the halfway point, which is going to be 6 months, and post, which is after I complete my happiness project, using the subjective happiness scale in our yellow book, which is the How to Happiness book. This way I can see if I've had any improvements in my happiness. And to conclude this project, I'm so glad that I chose to take this class and get to learn about what happiness really is. And it's something that's not talked about enough. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity and having been able to learn as much as I did. And I know this project is not going to be easy. It's going to be a long journey. As Gretchen Rubin said, happiness doesn't always make you feel happy. So I definitely know what's in store for me. And I hope that at least one strategy sticks with me, if not all of them. And I hope it's something that I implement in my day-to-day life for the rest of my life, not just the 365 days of this project. And here are my references: the How of Happiness book, and then the Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin.